So, welcome back to Things Musicians Don't Talk About. I don't really know where to start. Yeah, it feels quite hard to begin. It feels like we're breaking up.
Well,
We've made the decision to bring TMDTA to an end, and we wanted to chat about it and sort of look back over our body of work and look back over maybe what we wish we'd done better, what we're really proud of, why we're finishing, and sort of give it the end that we feel it deserves.
But this isn't the last episode.
No. So we've got
clear.
Our last event will be with the Royal Society of Musicians in June, the 18th, I believe. Will be a sort of full circle moment where we talk about OCD and music with beautiful guest Anne Denham. And we might have a little party, TBC.
Do you have to come?
You have to come. Everybody has to come. So should we start with why we're coming to an end and then look back over our many years? Do you want to start?
So in January, I arrived at Becca's house and we recorded a chatty episode.
A breakdown one, yeah.
Yeah. And I haven't been that nervous for so long. So I knew I was going to tell Becca that I was feeling that I wanted to leave the pod. I kind of thought maybe she'd continue it on her own. That's why I wasn't like, I want to close it down. It was more like there's part of me that just doesn't want the continuation of it in my life at this point. But when I told you, was it a massive shock? Because you were very sweet.
Yes and no.
I was worried that you were going to, for some reason, and not that you're an angry person, but I was worried you were going to be so angry.
I think I was shocked. Like, I never really thought it would happen, but kind of had been feeling in my own life that, like, and we'll get into this, but it's been a massive struggle, like, at points to keep this going, energetically, financially, administratively, and I think I said at the time, like, it had crossed my mind at some point, especially when I'd been in high periods of stress of like, well, what can I push to the side or what can I quit and this kind of thing. And like the podcast, especially as it's, I don't think either of us have made a profit from this. So it was a small surprise that it happened because, yeah, like we hadn't discussed it, I guess. But I also understood all the reasons that you put forward and was like, yeah, I can also resonate with a lot of those.
What's weird about it is, like, I don't feel connected to my reasons being, like, good reasons. Like, the reasons I'm going to give, for some reason, when I say them, I don't feel they're justified. And I don't care that they're not justified. But
who do you feel they're not justified to? Like me or the listeners?
It's like, because I think it's because, and I think this is a good thing, it's because it hasn't reached like a point where I don't want to do it anymore in a like practical sense. Does that make sense? So it's like, I'm someone in so many parts of my life that like I can be incredibly passionate and like excited about projects and people as well. And then it might just happen over a month that like it'll all just become incredibly clear to me that it's not going to be right for much longer, and I need to be honest about that, or I need to bring it to a close. And that's exactly what happened. Was it just felt like over a few months I was more and more just like I am worried about what this will become if it goes on like much longer.
Well, it is like having a breakup before you get to crisis point,
which
is always justified, and it should never get to crisis. Like, we should never let things get to that point. But it is much harder to bring things to a close or exit things when it doesn't feel like it's on fire.
I think quite a lot of things happened in the autumn in my personal life as well, where like I'm just feel very in tune to that whole thing of what's giving you energy, what's serving you, what relationships are fulfilling, what is it that I want in the future. And I think this project is something that is very tied to like the person I was, I guess, in my early 20s. And obviously it's morphed and changed, and you've come along most of the journey with me as well. But there is a sense of, I don't know, we were sort of talking about like how we could grow it, what would the next step be. And I just kept feeling like, I don't know if I'm comfortable trying to make it profit, like trying to get a profit out of it. I also honestly don't think it was viable too. And so I just felt like, similar to you, like there's a lot of energy behind it. It means an awful lot to me. And I just couldn't see my like motivation, and I couldn't see my motivation continuing, and I couldn't see it growing particularly. Not that you should do things just to grow them, but
no, but if you can see your motivation declining, or stagnating, that's not particularly motivating in itself.
No. Okay, so what I wrote last night: I'm stressed. I'm not sure that my reasons are justified. Are they good enough?
Yes.
Thanks. It just started to feel not right, I put. So the other thing I didn't mention is, the more people start talking about stuff, and they have, and I could even name, like, in the last year, people who have spoken out about things that has, like, blown my mind, because I feel a pride, not that I think that, I know that we helped towards people feeling they can speak out, and that's amazing. But when you sort of say, like, then even the name of it feels like more strange now than it did in 2020. Do you know what I mean?
TMDTA?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Because it's like, I don't know.
People are
talking so much more. I know it's not saying it's easy still at all. It's really hard to talk about things, and there are still loads of things that are unsaid and unexplored.
And also, because they've been talked about once doesn't mean they're fixed.
I just really want someone else to do it now. I think at the start, I was very happy to, sounds dramatic, but almost sacrifice my personal life in aid of this. And I was 22 and I was really mentally unwell and all of these things. And I'm not going to delete any of the episodes, but I am just very conscious that, like, I don't know, I'm a very different person now. It's taken up so much of my 20s. I kind of want to reclaim some of the personal, emotional, private energy that I've very much been, like, happy to give to this. I say that, and then I feel really drawn to share in different ways, like writing or whatever. Because I will always be an oversharer.
But you have more choice over it.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
Maybe.
Whereas you won't be tied to something that sort of demands. It's very vulnerable to share your thoughts in a way that's, you know, mostly unedited. Like, we delete, you know, like big swathes of silence or whatever, but for the most part you don't get the chance to choose your words one by one, and we're on camera, and it's a lot. It's quite vulnerable.
And it's felt like in the last whatever years, all of my free time, nearly, not all of it, but like so much of it is dedicated to this. And I often look at my colleagues and think, wow, like, you go home and you don't have this big project that is completely tied to your mental health and completely tied to, like, the darkest times in your life.
And that people know you for that as well.
And people know you for that. Often people say to me, I know I can share this with you because you've spoken about it. And they will share something very disturbing. And I know that will keep happening. And I will have to keep trying to navigate how to deal with that. But I didn't actually think about that as a side effect to this.
Yeah, understandably.
I don't know if you feel, I mean, you are better qualified to deal with it.
Well, yeah, exactly. Like, I have specific training. I'm now qualified in this area. But before that, it is daunting and at times takes you by surprise, because of course stuff comes out the blue, either into your personal DM or the podcast DM or the email or whatever it is. And I actually really respect people now that say DMs closed, or, you know, don't respond to comments. It's just like for instance, Instagram, like you just put stuff out there and you're not responding, you know.
Yeah, I think I basically haven't responded to a DM for a very long time.
But I don't think that should be an expectation.
But I feel terrible about it because I think I've actually, and if you're talking about what I would do differently, I think I welcomed that from people.
Well, at the beginning when we were much smaller, it was a point of connection and intimacy. But as we got bigger and the messages came from further afield, or people that weren't even connected to music, like the OCD comments that you'd get, like people just really in places of desperation looking for something, anything.
Reassurance. Yeah.
Like that has been a lot.
It's been a lot. And I know that this has led me to have incredibly important, deep, beautiful conversations with people I would never have met. And I really want that to continue. There's also like an understanding of our value. If you give so much all the time, you start feeling less precious.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. And we always said that we would run this podcast in a way that was conducive to our well-being. And that I wanted to also say that in terms of your reasons being justified, that was our sort of core mission from 2021 when I joined, that we were always going to do that. So, I mean, that's the ultimate reason to finish this, is if it's not conducive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, we thought because there were these questions that we've done twice now, that we were going to sort of repeat every year or 6 months or something, just to like see where we were at. So in the last year, what's been the most challenging thing? I can only pick one.
Yeah. Realizing my value. That's literally been horrendously hard.
Yeah.
And giving myself up so easily for people that don't deserve it.
Yeah.
All the time. It's been really hard.
It's so hard because there's like a sort of false narrative of like, you are so valuable and precious and everybody is, you know, worth more than their job or whatever. That actually in practice, what does that look like? And to then advocate for yourself, people don't like that.
No, I really like to morph myself to fit in other people so that I'm more likely to be chosen by them, kind of vibe. No, not liking that very much. What about for you?
Sort of similar, partly just finances, but also the stress of just all the admin, like booth admin. Just like my time has been so co-opted by everybody apart from me. Whether that be squeezing in work that I don't want to do because I just have to earn money, or spending my evenings emailing lawyers about, you know, money and houses and things that are obviously will be great once they're sorted. I mean, the house is sorted now, but like there's all these things that I'm like, I don't want to be doing this, but I don't have a choice.
Yeah, you really didn't.
Really struggling with the sense of, especially in therapy training, the narrative of you always have a choice. Everybody has a choice. And you're like, yes, I guess I could choose not to chase down this money that is owed to my family, but then I'd still have to pay inheritance tax on it. And, you know, it's like, I don't really have a choice here.
No, you don't.
So yeah, just that, and then just wearing myself down health-wise, mental health, physical health, emotional health, and then similarly sort of devaluing myself and then letting people into my life that I just shouldn't have because I thought, well, it's so great that they like me or whatever it is, you know, sort of chasing that because that was the only value that I thought I had, which is really sad. Okay, question 2. On a scale of 1 to 10, how content are you with your life and why?
This is a really, really funny timing to do this. It's a really good question. I'd say I'm at a 7. because I am really content with my life.
Yeah.
And if you'd have asked me in like even a few months ago, it probably would have been a 4 or a 5. But there's been, as time has passed, I feel I've actually asked my dad, King, to pray that I find a sense of peace with, especially being single. And I feel like I'm reaching it. It's obviously still painful sometimes, but the underlying feeling is a sense of contentment and peace, which I think I'm just looking to grow that feeling in my life now. And I think, just knowing that he is also putting energy out there for that for me is really nice.
That's so lovely.
So I feel very lucky.
Yeah. I think similarly, I'm on about an 8, I would say.
Nice.
That even though there are challenging things going on, I know that everything will be okay. Like, I feel much more secure in myself and my ability to cope with things. Plus the fact that, you know, like the past 6 years of therapy training have like come to an end, and I've started my private practice and I'm doing work that I like, and I have such a rich social life, and I feel so loved, and like there's all these things, and it's sunny.
And you're turning 30.
And I'm turning 30. I don't know, I just feel in a really good place. And also like my finances are in a better place, which, you know, just underlies everything. You know, I no longer have to get to the tube barrier and be like, I can't tap through this because I can't get to work, you know, or I can't buy the groceries. I need to get Stu to send me money, you know, this kind of thing. Like that constant
wears
stress.
you down.
Yeah, I mean, you can't live, you know.
No, it's horrific.
Where do you see yourself in 6 months' time? Oh my God.
When's that? September? No.
What month is it? April? October.
I love October.
I hate October. I'll be depressed again.
I see myself frolicking in October, just living my best life. I don't know. I'm incredibly open to new opportunities, so maybe one of those will have begun, if maybe not. I actually cannot see myself in 6 months' time. I think that's a really hard question.
I think once this is over, it's kind of hard to imagine as well. Yeah.
To be fair, what came into my head was like, oh, I really hope I could go on another little solo trip somewhere.
Great.
That's all I do. Let's go on solo trips.
Yeah, but not for work.
No, exactly. It won't be. No.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have a vision of like going to Suffolk or something, going on a beach, doing a little sauna vibe. I don't know. Just the general chill things. Maybe I'll go on a retreat to a convent. Maybe I'll become a nun, guys.
I have kind of thought this.
No.
For like, you do it for like 2 months, then be like, oh, I can't do this.
No, I just can't. I feel like I need all of life available to me.
Yeah.
In order to choose very little of it to live within.
That is so relatable. I need everything open to me so that I can pick one or two things.
Yeah. What about you?
I mean, I hope just more of this.
Sinking into seasonal affective disorder.
Yeah, well, that's the problem. I'm hoping to do more wintering this year.
Nice.
And like actually slow down. I'm hoping that life will allow that, and that I will have enough resources to sort of hide away a bit and store up and be cozy and be slow.
I can always help with that.
Yeah. But yeah, so aside from that, like I sort of hope that if I'm still on an 8 out of 10, well, blessed now would be like maybe even 9 out of 10. That would be my aim. But I don't think that's possible.
Yeah, I don't know whether if you were, that's weird, isn't it? Because I think if I was 8 out of 10 content, I'd weirdly be less content. That doesn't make any sense.
No. Okay, it says, what do you want from the next 6 months? Which is kind of the same.
I quite
question,
like that though.
but...
It makes more sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
I want. Actually, no, I don't know. You go first.
Like the podcast, I want to close it out in a way that feels sort of calm and collected and contented. We'll see. And I, would just love to keep minimizing the commitments I have in life.
Yeah.
And like attending to my well-being more regularly in all like physical, emotional, creatively, and just keeping prioritizing my friendships as much as romance and myself. And that feels very like choose yourself, but actually
it's quite a lot to balance still.
Yes, but it feels good.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think I probably am avoiding the reality of this coming to an end, not because I don't want it to, just because I don't know how I feel about it at all. I haven't felt particularly emotional about it yet.
I thought I'd be more emotional now, like recording this, but
we just don't seem to give a fuck. It's like, but in the next 6 months, I want to be a bit less bitchy. I've been a bit of a bitch recently.
When?
Oh,
just then.
No,
that little face you did.
I don't know. Like yesterday at work, I just kind of was like bitching about a man that I don't really like dealing with, and it just felt in that moment I was like, this doesn't feel particularly professional, and like I kind of did it in front of like all my colleagues. It was just a bit like, anyway, I think I do that a bit too much. I get quite like emotional about some of the more difficult personalities I have to work alongside sometimes, and then I become not my best self. So I was like, just be a bit more channel. Don't erupt about stupid men sometimes.
But I also wonder if your free time is yours again, whether you'll be able to separate out professional and
that's
personal.
what my mother wants me to do.
Oh, right, okay.
But I don't know, I'm not very good at that.
Yeah. That's also a strength.
Yeah. I think it makes me very good at whatever I put my mind to, I think.
Yeah, like you're...
Because I'm all consuming.
Well, you give everything to...
I give everything.
Every part of your life.
Well, hey.
Good. Question 5 out of 6. Biggest regret of the past 6 months? Where to begin?
Biggest regret of the past 6 months was...
6 months. Wait, when is that?
I love to regret.
Is that October?
I think biggest regret. I've done stuff. It's going to be so vague.
Perfect.
Okay.
We're closing down the personal.
I've prioritized opportunities, people, and contacts because of how they will make me look towards somebody else. I've done a lot of things to impress people. Like, literally, and then all you end up feeling is empty. So empty. And like, you're not cool enough, not good enough, not anything enough. And I really regret putting any kind of energy behind that. And I know it came from a place of like wanting attention, but I did really regret doing that.
Could say a few names, but I think getting too engrossed in other people.
Yeah.
And I mean, what I should have done is, I should have just cut people out of my life sooner. You know who you are.
Go away.
But also I should have taken, like, for instance, January, February, when I was living my Lady of Leisure time. Lovely. But I should have been like, I'm taking these 2 months off rather than waiting.
Rather than halfway house kind of thing.
Yeah, being like, well, if a gig comes in, I'll take it. Because, I mean, if you get a gig in January, February, what a blessing. Like, you are the chosen one. But I should have just been like, well, I'm going away for a month, or like, I'm going, or 2 weeks, or just somewhere.
Empowering yourself to
just choose. And I know that also finances were a part of that, but I didn't really have any work anyway. So I should have just been like, I go stay at a friend's house, or like
otherwise you're kind of in a limbo that means you don't fully rest.
Yeah, exactly. Like I immediately in March was like, I'm so tired and burnt out. Such a ridiculous concept.
From living on like tenterhooks kind of thing.
Yeah, like low-key tenterhooks where I'm like, I am doing nothing and I'm really glad I did my comedy course. But, you know, just setting more boundaries around my personal time. Last one. Tell me about your identity as a musician right now.
As a musician right now?
Mm-hmm.
The face says it all. Looks at cello.
Yeah, cello's not in the shot.
I don't have an identity as a musician right now.
What about in relation to music?
I don't know. I'm grateful for its existence, and I'm always trying to find new stuff that makes me feel new stuff. But a lot of the time, I'm kind of sick of it.
Mm-hmm.
And every kind of music, I put it on and I'm like, oh God, I've heard this before. That sounds like that, something else. I can't be arsed with this. This is too pretentious. Not a good time for old music, can I?
But honest.
I'm afraid so. What about you?
I do feel much more of a musician than a trumpet player.
Okay.
More than ever, which is really nice.
Mm-hmm.
And that's helpful in that I actually feel finally like I'm more grounded in a creative space rather than just a technical space.
That's lovely.
No thanks to Julia Cameron. I will say that. That was given up about week 3.
It's too much to expect of yourself.
Yeah, it really
Could we
feels
need
like
another
a
episode on this whole thing?
Oh no, it won't. She's not getting any airtime. I still have been getting performance anxiety, which was a bit of a shock. Like depping on shows, been feeling more faint than usual, which was a bit like, where's that coming from?
That's horrible.
So, but I feel more in a place to seek support for it, and like I might actually go to like a performance psychologist or like a coach that I've had a lot of recommendations for. But in general, I do generally feel more excited to play.
That's amazing.
For the first time in a really, really long time.
Go you!
And like I've actually maybe this more creative strand of my life is sort of healing my relationship in some ways with the trumpet. And I was speaking to someone about my relationship with the harp the other day.
Oh gosh.
It was really kind of them to ask actually, because I mentioned that I used to play the harp and they're like, oh yeah. And it was one of the only people that hasn't been like, oh, such a shame that you gave, what a beautiful instrument though, like, you sure you're not going to try and come back to it, and you can always get yourself a little one in the future,
a little Celtic one. But
like the non-judgment made me be like, how do I actually feel towards this instrument? And I'm still not anywhere near ready to go back, and I don't feel any draw to try, which
it's
is
me. Hi.
So yeah, actually quite good. Sorry. This face.
What, my face?
Yeah. So should we talk about looking back and looking forward? Maybe sort of highlights of the pod, lowlights of the pod, and what we hope from the space that we are going to leave. So over the past 6 years-ish, what have been your favourite moments, interviews, events, processes?
I really enjoyed the Women in Music episode we did at RSM.
Yeah.
Just putting that out there. I just remember feeling like, oh, this is important.
Yeah.
This is great.
Yeah.
This is great. And then it's more kind of general, but I just endlessly have enjoyed how many friends I've made through it. I just did not expect that to be a side effect of it. Name someone in my life, it's more likely that they've come out of this.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. I also love how there's no like one episode that everyone's like, oh, that's the one. Like everybody who's come into it through different avenues has been like, oh no, I listened to this episode. And like I remember I had quite a few. We don't have loads of male fans that engage with us in a way that I feel that they're
present.
But a lot of people after the Bob Hughes episode.
Oh, I loved that episode.
Just I mean, he's an amazing man, but also just getting sort of male brass players like on board for a bit was kind of felt like quite a big achievement.
Yeah.
To a space where predominantly non-men are, you know, feel like our most present listener base.
For a long time as well, I thought the Hannah French episode was really important. I think also because it felt, and maybe I'm wrong, it felt like that for her, she hadn't told her story quite in that way before.
Yeah.
And that, I think that's happened a few times where someone's been able to, and this was the point, you know, share their story in a slightly different way because maybe there just wasn't a platform for the full story.
Yeah.
And I feel like there are other examples of that. I really enjoyed that Annabelle one quite recently.
Yeah.
That was amazing. And actually the Jessica Duchin one that people haven't heard yet.
Yeah, they won't have heard it by the time this comes out, but it's probably the next one after this.
Oh my gosh.
It's really incredible. Like very meaty episode.
I love her. I love Jessica.
I also, been so proud of all the in-person invitations we've had, be it like, I mean, the podcast festival, but also like when we went to Liverpool Phil Careers Fest.
Yeah.
And
Wells?
like Wells and Chet's.
Oh yeah.
And Nijo.
Yeah.
And
Scotland.
Nios. They've been really special because it was like, I think every time we went somewhere, I was like, why are we here? Like, who invited us?
People wanted us to talk to young people.
Yeah.
I mean, some of those we chased.
Yes, that's actually true.
But
also there was like a recognition of what we were doing. And a lot of those have spanned many years. I mean, from probably 2022, maybe. And we've had invites to go on other podcasts and just a sense of being like slightly celebrated for the work we're putting in and getting to go places was really fun and really meaningful. And again, the connections that I wouldn't have like made, or the people I wouldn't have met if we hadn't. I mean, most of the time, connections that you've had or chased or made. It's been amazing.
What's your favourite episode?
Even some of the breakdown ones, like the chatty ones, have been so good.
Yeah.
And a good reminder. I probably couldn't name a specific one, but a good reminder that we have also plenty to talk about and that people want to listen, and that I love listening to you talk about what you're going through, be it positive or negative or both or in between. And we get into some good topics. Like,
yeah, I love listening to you go through your stuff.
There's some really good ones.
Like what? Oh my God, Emily White.
Yeah, I think Emily White was probably maybe my favourite.
Yeah, I understand that.
And obviously because of personal considerations, but also Jamie Barton.
Oh yes,
just amazing people everywhere that speak so well, and like they could just do the episode by themselves. They don't need us, you know.
Jamie's a sweetheart.
What about things we wish we'd done differently or better? I know we kind of touched on it a bit.
Lol. I know. I have an ongoing debate with my sister about regret. She doesn't believe in regret. And I really do. Not in a way where I dwell on the past really that much.
But also the understanding that you can't go back and change things without the present being changed. Like
Precisely.
I'm so happy with where things are that...
Yeah, I wouldn't be at a 7 out of 10.
Exactly.
If we gave that much of a shit about the past. However, I think I regret... there's so many like admin.
It's mostly admin, I think.
I think what I've learned is that it's often the people you find through word of mouth or through your own kind of research. This goes against what social media tells you as well. Mm-hmm. I think often the people that don't promote themselves much or have sort of lived a very faithful or understated existence, but with this amazing energy, I've loved that we found them, and they have been the most meaningful episodes for me.
Yes. Yeah, completely.
Always, really. Yeah. Almost always. And I think I wish I'd have been less worried about like people saying, because people always say like, oh, who have you had on?
I know.
And you're like,
well, I can listen
you wouldn't have heard any.
Yeah, all the ones that, it's more likely that the ones that are more meaningful to us maybe aren't the biggest names or the people that they would have heard of.
Exactly.
I wish I put more boundaries in place in terms of like, being like, we don't reply to DMs or like from the beginning, but we didn't know. We also didn't know how known we would get or, and then something we've talked about, I wish we'd maybe pursued a model financially that meant that we could get paid. Yeah. Or that, like, for instance, the Patreon, this is just advice for people going forward, that you don't actually need to put like content on the Patreon. People will support your cause just putting a little bit of money in and not expecting more content back. I think that was quite stressful sometimes, of like, oh, we got to record our Patreon episode and then it not being particularly interesting and then just creating more work for kind of no reward.
Yeah, trusting that like your presence is enough for people to want to support you. Yeah. I think that's really true.
And also maybe it would have made more sense to do like a patch of recording and then release them done like 3 months on, 3 months off, like that kind of model rather than drip recording, which also sometimes has worked better. But being more like forward thinking about energy, I guess. But also kind of just made it how we wanted it to be.
But also no regrets.
Yeah, also no regrets. Do you have any final regrets? I know you don't believe.
I do believe in regrets.
Sorry, I know you don't believe in not believing.
No, not many of my regrets are related to this project, actually.
No, it's kind of the structure of it, but actually the content or like the thing itself. I don't wish I'd been less open, or I don't wish I'd been more open.
No, I don't either. I think that's why another reason is why it's ending now, is like I'm reaching a point where I'm like, I don't know if I want to be open forever.
Yeah.
But I'm very happy with how open I've been until now.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Definitely. And in terms of moving forwards, what are your wishes for this space or for the industry?
Well, I think mental health shouldn't be a trend that we try and jump on the back of. I think a lot of the time activism becomes a trend. And I think part of why I've wanted to keep it going for 6 years is because I've wanted it to be part of every day for me. And I really want it to be just part of every decision that's made by anyone in the power position. Consider that there are people in your organisation really mentally ill. Like, it makes... I don't know why, I just get really angry about it.
I mean, I know why.
Think about that. I really want conservatoires to think about that as well, a lot more. I've got a lot of like sadness still And a lot of it you just can't avoid. People get ill and they go through horrible times and they don't feel supported, and that's shit. But yeah, I want people to keep being open. I want to hear more stories from brave musicians and brave journalists. We want everyone to go and read the interview on Bark Track with Ben Glassberg. It was written by an amazing Austrian journalist who herself has been through mental health problems, brings that into the piece. And Ben is someone who has the most beautiful musicianship and soul and fun and everything. And he went through the worst experience ever. And he shared it with so much grace. He shared it with me privately, and he shared absolutely everything as well in this piece. And I want more bravery like that. I don't know. I can't, like, that probably was one of the highlights of my year, was seeing that piece be released and just being like, Ben and Elizabeth putting this interview out together, like, is I just want more of that. That was really long-winded. But, yeah. What about you?
Similar to what you said about activism being a way of life, I think people need to understand that there is definitely more awareness than 6 years ago, but awareness also breeds lethargy because you're constantly inundated by, be it the news or awful stories or stuff on social media, and that is tiring. But for this to be a way of life, you need to know thyself, take your time out, then step back in. But like, there are people that need more support, be it mental health, be it activism, whatever it is. Like, we as an industry need to be less naive, less apathetic, and actually work together to do things. And that takes bravery, it takes vulnerability. It doesn't have to be that everybody shares all the time, but like, them you complaining about your gig fee because it's too low is a political thing. Like, if you expect somebody to do something about it, people don't come to people's rescue. Like, the MU, for instance, need people to come help and come volunteer. If you're like complaining about the MU and now they don't do anything, go do something. Like, the same about your, I don't know, the music service that you work for. Yes, you can't win every battle, you can't fight every battle, but if you have capacity to, like, just do something, just do anything. That I really hope that people take up the mantle a bit more, and that we can, I'm sure there are loads of creative projects that are going to come up if people have the energy. I really hope that we can just support each other more in that, and be aware that a few people putting an inordinate amount of energy into something is not sustainable. It needs to be spread across the whole industry. I just wanted to, it feels a bit soppy, but I just wanted to thank you for bringing me on board. Just like, it's been, when we first linked up, I don't think I could have imagined where we'd be now.
No. Hadn't even met you in person.
No.
Didn't even know how tall you were. You could have been a midget.
Not very tall. Which I've only really realised this year. Kind of shocking at 29. But yeah, it's sometimes hard to know if we've made a difference, but I know that we have, and people tell us that we have. And you started that, by yourself from a place of desperation. And I'm so proud of the work that we've done, and I'm also really proud of you for taking that first step.
Yeah.
Because even those first episodes where you're just like on a walk,
I will not listen back to any of those, by the way.
I love them.
Right.
Especially in comparison to where we are now. Because
I'm scared everyone's going to go and listen back to them. Oh, well. Oh, well, you can, I guess.
Yeah, and that's another thing to note, is that we will make these episodes available for as long as we can, and we'll put the blogs somewhere, and we'll move everything to somewhere that they can be accessed, because
for sure
we don't want all this work to just go in the bin.
No. It's important that it stays there. But thank you, because as I've said many times, it was your energy and creativity that like really gave it an identity.
It had an identity before.
I don't know. It just had a momentum with you behind it that it wouldn't have had without you. So I'm incredibly grateful for that.
Love you.
Love you. Obviously.
Do we need a win of the week?
No.
No, this is the win.
I refuse.
We made a podcast. 6 years.
Thank you, everybody.
Yeah.
Please come to our live talk and look forward to there are still more episodes on the way.
And we'll still be contactable.
I probably won't reply.
Yeah.
No, I might reply.
I probably will and feel really bad about being so slow.
No, I will try and reply.
Cool. All right. Bye.
Bye.